All right, so we got a couple of interesting items here. So these are related to some prototypes that I've been working on. So let's talk about these just real briefly here. So we got a little square here. This is a little Starrett square, little solid square or fixed square. We've got just a couple of drill bits here. This is a jobber, 118 degree, and then this is a stub or screw machine length that's 135 included angle, and this one actually has a split point too. This little guy here, this is what we call a tool check or a tool chit. And the history behind this is this belonged to, well, I have a bunch of them. They belong to a friend of mine that I work with, and he worked for Click Lock Corporation. They're kind of a packaging machinery company, and he was number 182. Anyway, when you went to the tool room and say you wanted to check out a little solid square like that, you would give the tool room attendant one of your chits, and they would put it on the hook or put it in the pocket where these went, and it was a form of inventory control. So I've been working on some Oxtool swag items that are kind of related to these things here, and I'm going to show you those in just a second here. These are the Mark I prototypes, I would call them, I guess. So this is kind of the first go around with my laser cutting guy, and they laser cut these out of stainless steel for me, and I just had a couple made just to see how the marking would come out and check them for accuracy. So, which we're going to do a little bit more of in this video as well. So, you can see where this came from, right? And then this guy here, the idea here is that this is it's a drill point gauge. All right, so, and there's the 135 there, and then the 135 at the end, okay? And then the 118, okay? And then these graduations help you center up the chisel point there, and then you can check your included angle as well, okay? So anyway, that's kind of the idea there. This scary looking thing here is actually kind of a fail. The idea behind this, and I'll bring you over to the surface grinder and show you, is this would hang on the spindle or the arbor, and this would act kind of like a plumb bob and locate bottom dead center so that you could place the dressing diamond kind of dead nuts under the center line of the wheel. You kind of eyeball that and it works fine, but I just thought it might be a cool item, but it's kind of a fail. It doesn't quite do what I want, but we'll go look at that anyway. So like I said, these were the Mark II prototypes, and us YouTubers sometimes make stickers and t-shirts and things like that. One, to show viewer appreciation, right? Somebody sends us something or whatever, and we send something back, and or we do it as fundraisers for the channel, or just kind of giveaway items when for something like the upcoming summer bash at the Bar Z and at Bar Z Industrial. So I'll probably have a handful of these down there, and if you're nice to me, maybe you'll get one. So, so let me show you the. Let's push these aside here, and I'll show you the Mark II prototypes. Okay, and which are looking a lot better, I think. And okay, and then here's the kind of more interesting one, I think. So what we got. So what we got here, this is a tool. Remember I mentioned the tool check here. Well, this is a tool check for Oxtools, right? That's the general idea, right? So, and then we got the square, and you can see we improved in the interim there, we improved the visibility of the graduations, and then I added a metric scale here. This is an inch scale down here, and a few more things. So pretty happy with that. That's looking pretty good. And then this is a sign bar, okay? So this is a 5-inch sign bar, okay? So this, from the center of that radius to the center of that radius, is 5 inches. And I thought what we would do is I had a few of these laser cut, okay, and you can see the cut quality there is pretty good. And what we want to do is check the accuracy of this, and just for fun, and see if it's usable as a sign bar. And I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. So let's go check that out. All right, so we're going to set this up in the vise just because it makes it easier to hold all this. So here's our laser cut sign bar, okay, the swag item, okay. And we got a stack of gauge blocks, and the angle that we're going to set up, just to make it easier to check, I have this Weber Croblox 15-degree angle gauge block, okay. So that's within a couple of arc seconds of being 15 degrees. So those are pretty good. So make sure that that's kind of clean in there. All right. We'll put our gauge block stack there, and we'll put this in. And this would be a typical way you might use this, right? Okay, to set up an angle in the mill. And what I'm going to do, just because I want to, is I'm going to clamp it at this end here, okay? So I'm going to kind of hold it down, put a little bit of pressure on it so that it's against the bottom of the vise and the gauge blocks nicely, and then just snug that up, okay? And then what we'll do is we'll put the, put Mr. Gauge Block on the sign bar, like so. Make sure I'm on it. And just lightly clamp that in place just to hold it. You know, if you tried to clamp this to an angle plate and do a bunch of, it'd be a bunch of screwing around, but this would be a real common setup. All right, so let's get an indicator going here and see what we got. Okay, so we're just going to run an indicator along the gauge block there, like this. Down here. Come down here. It's like George Thorogood. All right. Let me make sure you guys can see that. Yeah, you can kind of see that. We'll probably do this a couple of times. All right. Oh, I don't know. See a couple of tenths maybe. All right, over, what is that? 2 inches. So, you know, I'm going to call that kind of shop grade, right? And, all right, so maybe we're 1/10 there. Oop. Right there. Yeah, a couple, what is that, half? So 3/10, something like that is what I'm seeing. So what I'll do is I'm going to switch indicators, and we'll go to a tenths indicator and then run across that and kind of see what that is. So I haven't done anything other than deburr this. Okay, so this is right off of the laser, and that's what's kind of neat about this. And I have another one right now. Oh yeah. So here's a second one, right? And the idea, I thought too, is that, so I put a couple of holes in it, is that you could stick these on pins and kind of spread them out, right? And kind of lock them together, right? And get something wider if you had 2 of these. So that's kind of the general idea there. But let's switch indicators and then see what we got. All right, switch indicators here. Put my fancy pants one in here. Like so. All right. Let's see, can you see all that business? All right, yeah, you can. All right, let's see if we can get this on 0 or pretty close to it. Okay, you ready? Let's see what we got. So it's 2/10. Let's go back, see if we kept our 0. Yeah, pretty close. Maybe a little shade off. Yeah, I call that 2/10. So, and like you guys, I was kind of shocked actually how good it was, and just straight off of the laser cutter, right? And so this is actually what was kind of a prototype and kind of well, let's just see how it behaves, to kind of a nice surprise of a tool that you can actually use and make use of. So. All right, so let's go check out the fail and the bozo fail, and wrap this video up. All right, so we'll check out the fail now. So Mr. Bozo, he's always ready for a fail, or he's always on call for a fail. So the idea was that it was just going to sit on here like so, and then help you. Let me lock the table here. Help you locate the diamond, okay? But it doesn't really act like a plumb bob, which is kind of what I was hoping by adding a little bit of weight down at the tip here like that. Yeah, I don't know. Kind of looks cool, but it doesn't really work, so I call that a fail. Now, I did put a flat across the top here, so or you could, if your machine is level, you could attach a small level vial to something like this, and then actually find a nice, or pretty accurate center point there. But yeah, I hear you. Just back off, okay? Find a pretty accurate center point there, okay? Anyway, so fail. All right, so that's kind of it for this video. Throw some comments up, guys, and let me know what you think. If I'm on the right track, you guys like this idea. And they're not ready for prime time yet. I got a little bit more work to do with the laser cutter. And my intent is to put them up on the website, oxtoolco.com, and have a little kind of an order button so you can order them if you want them. So and then I guess I want to show you this too. So these are sized so that you could stack these together if you wanted to, and make a wider version. Although I haven't tested that, so I should probably test that. So that you get the idea. So now you can have kind of a laminated a laminated sign bar. Okay, everybody wants a laminated sign bar. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and like I said, leave a comment, let me know what you think, even if you don't like it, okay? Thanks.